Hi, welcome to another episode. Today is a quite different episode. We are not going to play guitar. I'm not going to show you effects. I'm not going to show you how to do things or talk about any guitar hero. And today we're going to geek out a little bit and get some nerd data about some pedals. Today we're going to talk about this cheap brand called Behringer. Behringer is a company founded in 1989 by the Swiss engineer Uli Behringer in Villach, Germany. Behringer for 2007 had become the 14th largest musical equipment manufacturer in the world. They produce a different variety of musical equipment that ranges from synthesizers, audio interfaces, and the most important thing for us, guitar pedals, amplifiers and guitars. In 1990, they decided to move production to reduce costs to China, and in 1997, they moved their production to Hong Kong to have better quality control. I will tell you my personal history with Behringer. I haven't heard of the brand until 2010. Here in Argentina, things arrived a bit late. At that time, I was gifted this thing. This is a Behringer FX 600. It's kind of it's like some kind of multi-effects with pitch shifter, flanger, chorus, phaser, and delay. I was quite impressed, I have to say, because you can play a lot with this thing. And a couple of years ago, I was obsessed with getting a whammy. So I decided to investigate, and I was quite keen on getting a Boss phase shifter, a Boss PS5 that has the capability of doing whammy. Later, I found out that Behringer was cloning that pedal, and after a couple of years of trying some Behringer pedals, I found out that they were making a lot of clones of very well-known pedals and some quite classic ones. So I decided to share with you down in the video description a list with all the Behringer clones, and in this video I will highlight some of them that are quite interesting because they are really low cost. Among the clones we can find the Blues Overdrive from them. That is a clone of the classic Blues Driver. It's a really nice pedal. For example, another pedal that we can find is the Dynamic Compressor. That is a really good clone of the Dynacomp. We can find some digital delays. The 100, 400 and 600 are a clone of the DD3 from Boss and the DD5, and they cost less than half of those Boss pedals. We got some clones of the Boss RB5, the digital reverb from Behringer is a clone of that pedal, or another things like the Boss RB3 that is cloned in the Behringer digital reverb delay DR400. They clone even some things from Line 6. They clone the Line 6 Echo Park in the Echo Machine EM600 from Behringer. We can find some other classics like the Boss GE7, they have a copy of that, or the Boss HM2, or even the Metal Zone. It's a pedal I profoundly dislike, but if you want that tone, you can get it for less money. You can find even some clones of the Line 6 Roto Machine, the Line 6 Verbzilla, in the rotary machine and reverb machine versions of Behringer. They even have clones of the Ivan Stube Screamer, the two versions, the TS-808 and the TS-9. Even when you go upper in the range of Behringer, when you get to the vintage line, you can find very interesting pedals like the vintage bass, that is a clone of the Electro Harmonix bass balls, the vintage distortion, that is a clone of the Big Muff, the vintage time machine, that is a really good clone of that lovely Bucket Brigade delay pedal, that is the Deluxe Memory Man, the vintage phaser, that is a clone of the Electro Harmonix Small Stone, and even pedals that are really hard to get nowadays for a good price, like the Vintage 2 Overdrive, that is a clone of the Chandler Tube Driver, a pedal that is really expensive on the market. What's the trick? Excluding of course the vintage line that are fairly nicely constructed. How they reduce costs? They use plastic casings with really low quality switches, but they sound really good. I have tried the Tube Screamer clone and it sounds amazing, I have to say. The only problem is the casing. You can get a really good tone with this by paying only half or even less from the cost of the original pedals. But if you want to gig them or you want to tour them, my best recommendation is to go to a pedal builder, go to a local pedal builder and ask them for a rehousing. For two reasons: the plastic casing wouldn't stand the tour, and the other thing is that they are buffered bypass. Under buffer is not very good. They suck tone like crazy. So I decided to share this piece of information because it could be really useful. Let's suppose that you're trying to find a Big Muff. You want to try a Big Muff, but you don't want to pay the price of a new Big Muff. Try the Behringer. It will do the same. It will do the trick. And if you like it too much, you can always sell it and get the original version. Or in many cases, the Chandler Tube Driver. In some places like my country, it's a really hard to get pedal. So it's an amazingly cheap and good option to have in mind. Well, with this information shared with you, if you like this video, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe and hit the notification bell for more updates on my content. So let's see you around. Bye.